The big question for Nebraska since the landing Dylan Raiola has been, who will be the next five-star recruit to commit to the Cornhuskers? So in this video, I have an answer to that. We'll go over who he is, what position does he play, what does he bring to the table, but most importantly, will Matt Rhule actually land him and try to build a five-star pipeline in Lincoln, Nebraska? So real quick, if you like the content, please hit the like button on this video. It really helps me out, along with subscribing to the channel if you don't want to miss out on any more Nebraska recruiting videos like this. We have so much more content planned this offseason. You don't want to miss a single video. But without further ado, let's get into it, talking about this prospect. He goes by the name of Jackson Cantwell, 2026 offensive tackle. And if you're not familiar with him at all, he is listed as the number 2 player in the entire class of 2026. According to 24/7, he's listed at 6'8", 300 pounds. And to add more context to that, he is only 16 years old. I expect by the time he ends up going to college, he'll be around 330, and most of that is already good weight. Again, some more background on him. Plays football, of course, but he is a multiple sport athlete, which I know Matt Rhule loves in his prospects. He plays basketball, and he also plays shot put. He's one of the best shot putters in the entire country at the high school level. His dad was actually a U.S. Olympian, so has a lot of good genes there. And then as for his offer list, again, you look at it, 26 offers already, and they're all incredibly impressive. The best programs in the country have offered him: Georgia, Alabama, Florida State, Oregon, Oklahoma. The list goes on. Everybody's trying to get his talents, and there is no doubt why. As for how he plays the game of football, he is a complete mauler, just a large physical offensive tackle. He's experienced in the run blocking department, but his pass pro is what really stands out to me. He's very polished in that as well, which is usually something that offensive tackles coming out of high school struggle with. But Jackson Cantwell, he does it on both sides of the game, both sides of the offense, and he is a stud. Now, as for his connection with Nebraska, he's based out of Missouri, and I talked about Missouri a little bit in my previous videos. Nebraska needs to build a pipeline, build a border around that state. You need to start getting these Missouri kids. I know for a fact Matt Rhule is going after wide receiver Isaiah Mosey, 4-star prospect out of class of 2025, very hard. He's from Missouri, and a lot of other Missouri guys we've been going after. And Missouri, again, they continuously prop out 5 stars, 4 stars, high 3 stars. And year after year, there's not a single school who really dominates the Missouri area. You see Ohio State come in there, take a couple guys. Texas come in there, take a couple guys. Mizzou come in there, take a couple guys. Georgia, same way. But there's not one program that just dominates the area. Nebraska needs to start getting in there and getting some good talent. And Jackson Cantwell is about as good as the talent could possibly get. Now, as for Jackson Cantwell's connection with Nebraska, again, he's only a sophomore in high school. He will be going into his junior year this fall, and he's already been on Nebraska's campus 3 times. He was here for the spring game last year. He was here in the fall for one of our games, and then he was also on campus recently in January, which we talked about him earlier. And he said in an interview that he loves Lincoln. And this is the same thing you hear for a lot of prospects. They get to Lincoln for the first time. They're not sure what to expect. And it's one of the best college towns I've ever been in. Everybody knows your name. Everybody's friendly. There's a lot of things to do. And a lot of people are just blown away. Jackson Cantwell also said how great the facilities were. Again, he has offers all over the country, Alabama, Georgia, and he said the Nebraska's facilities are top-notch, better than all of them, and that's huge for the Cornhuskers. We've spent a lot of time, a lot of money making our facilities as good as possible, and to have that finally pay off, specifically in the recruiting sphere, that's massive going forward. And the big thing on what Jackson Cantwell says, and the reason why I believe he will commit to the Cornhuskers, is his connection with Matt Rhule. And this is my big thing about Matt Rhule, is that he's so good in communication with prospects. Jackson Cantwell said that he's talking to Matt Rhule almost every day, and the culture that he can see from Nebraska is just phenomenal, something that he wants to be a part of. And that's my thing about Matt Rhule, is that he's in so much communication with these recruits. A lot of times when you see Texas recruit or you see Georgia recruit, a lot of these prospects are not actually texting with the head coach, at least not daily, at least not weekly. Matt Rhule is talking with these guys on an everyday basis, and that's what makes him a great head coach. That's what makes him a great recruiter. He made a promise when he was named the coach of Nebraska that he was going to build a personal connection with these young men and make them leaders. And that's what he's doing right now, and I think that's why he's recruiting at such a high level going forward. And again, you start building those connections, you keep them in place, you make young men into real men. And that's why Matt Rule is a great head coach, and I believe that Jackson Cantwell will inevitably commit to the Cornhuskers. Again, he is class of 2026. It's a little bit ways off, but it's something to definitely keep your eye on along the process. I do not believe we will land a 5-star on the class of 2025, but do not worry. That class is looking spectacular too, and we're going to have videos all offseason talking about that on some players that we're going after. So let me know down below, are you excited about Jackson Cantwell? Do you think we land him? Who else are you excited about in that class of 2026 class? I know Dayton Raiola is a fan favorite already, brother of Dylan. So let me know all of that down below. And as always, folks, please subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any more Nebraska recruiting content this offseason. It's free and it really helps out my channel. But go Big Red, go Matt Rule, and see you in the next one.